What's up guys, welcome back to the next video in learning Python. My name is QD Dan and you guys are watching my channel Corewood. So in this video we're gonna start nested if. So then the nested if you have if, then you have a boolean expression. You guys can put your statement here, and then you guys can if this is say true, then the Python is going to come in the second one. So he's going to look at the second one. If the second one is true, then the Python is going to evaluate both. So if this statement, this if is true, and say if this one is true, then the Python is going to look at both. If the both is true, then the Python is going to evaluate both of them. So if any of them is false, then the Python is going to just ignore that one. So if the third one, the if you guys have say some sort of statement like a print here, anything you guys have here, so if the first one is true, then the Python is going to see for the second one. So if the second one's true, then the Python is going to say print the first and second. Say if the third one is false, then the Python is going to do just ignore that one. The Python is going to do the first and second and not the third one. So why do we need this nested if? So in some, if you guys doing programming, you guys gonna bump up to the situations where you guys gonna have more than one if or else. So with the if and else, you guys can see the boolean condition of say the boolean expression of one if you get the mark more than 50 you're pass, otherwise you're the fail, or if you do this you're going to get this, otherwise you're going to get this. So but in some situations you guys need more than one if, and then I have already shown you guys the if else. But in these situations you guys are going to see the more than say one if. So it's not going to be L if, but it's going to be all ifs. You guys can put L if as well. So you guys gonna come here first, second, then you guys gonna see this one's also as else, and after the else, then your the looping. And so after this else, the control flow starts to finish. All right, so we're gonna create a program. We're gonna show you guys a simple program. Now we're gonna have some sort of variable. Say our variable is gonna be num. We assign 50 to this variable. We're going to check with our if our condition meet this 50 or not. So the first ones we're going to do is that if say num is greater than say 10, then you can print that the number is above 10. Say the number is more than 10, for example. All right, so the number is more than 10, and then you guys can put else here. You can put your else, and you can put a print. Say the number is above 50. The number is above say 50. All right, so now we have only two conditions here. The first one is we're going to say if the number is more than 10 or above 50. So we're going to see this one. You guys, now we're going to come here and we're going to run, and you're going to see that the number is more than 10 because this number is more than 10. The 50 is more than 10. And you guys can see this is less than 10 or whatever you guys want to put. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to put the way I put. You guys can put any other condition. All right, so now we're going to come here and we put another if here. Now we're going to make it nested if. So if our num is say greater than say 20, for example, then we're going to print. Now we're going to put our statement here, and then we're going to say the number is, so the number is more than, for example, 20. Or you can put a 20 here. All right, so now you guys can put a 10, for example, here. You don't have to put the way I put. You guys can put say above 50, for example. So we're gonna evaluate the number if our number meets the 50. So we have now two ifs here. So the first one's got else, the second one doesn't have else, but you guys can put else as well, but it's only gonna evaluate this, the last ones. If it's say your number is more than 50, then it's gonna come this one. Otherwise your numbers or program is gonna run the two above say ifs. But if the number is say the number is, if you put a 20, it's gonna more than 20, and it's gonna evaluate both of them. So there is gonna be, if this one's true, and if it's our number is not more than 50, then it's gonna evaluate this one as well. So it doesn't matter how many times you guys put a if, then it's gonna keep on going till it meets this number. Otherwise, even if you put up 5 or 10, it's gonna evaluate. So we're gonna run and we're gonna show you guys. So you guys gonna see the number is more than 10 and the number is more than 20, because this is more than, the number is more than 10 and the number more than 20. For example, say for example you guys if you guys want put, you guys can put like an input as well. Say we have a num and we're gonna remove this one. Say we put a say int, and inside we put an input, and inside the input we say please enter a number. We're asking the user to put input a number, so we want to evaluate the number. And keep in mind you guys need to put your f here, and you guys need to put your f. Okay, so now we're gonna see what the user is gonna put. Whatever the user is gonna put, say if the user wants to put more than say 50, then this one is gonna come in. This one's gonna kick in. Otherwise, Python is gonna see the execute the top two. So we're gonna run our control flow, and we're gonna put say for example 70, and this number is say we're gonna see is more than 10 and it's more than 20, and so we can put here somewhere around there is less than the number is say less than 10, for example. So now we're gonna see that because this is gonna come here, and what are we gonna do now? We're gonna put some number which is say if you put a 5, the number is less than 10. Now the last one kicks in, because the first one is going to be false, the second one is going to be false, and then the third one's, the Python is going to see the third one because it missed the third one. So if you put, even if you put say if num, say if you guys can put another if num is say more than say 40, and you guys can print the number is more than 40, for example. Alright, and now if you come here, if you put a 40 or 45, then the whole of them is going to come in, because as soon as this becomes a true, or your condition becomes a true, it's going to execute this one. If the condition becomes true, it's going to do this one. Then it's, if you are as long as it's less than whatever the number, so you guys can put any other number. Say if you put 100, all of them is going to be true, because the 100 is more than. But if you put less than say 10, which is our least condition, because we put a more, and then this guy is going to come here. Say now we're going to come here and we're going to run our control flow, and you guys keep in mind it's look like a ladder. If you look in here, it doesn't matter how many times you guys put your nested ifs here, it's going to be like a ladder. If you look in here, I'm not getting any indentation error, because that's the way Python works. Because the indentation, if you look in here, the first one there is no space, the second one there is a 4, then there's going to be the if's going to be sitting under the print, and then you guys look in here, the Python is going to direct me here. Then underneath I put another one. So as soon as you guys put this one, you're blocking, you are good to go. Say if you guys, for example, if you put 3, and you guys going to see the last ones comes in. If you guys say now I'm going to run again, say I'm going to put a, say if we put a 90, for example, then all of them is going to come here. That's how nested if inside the Python works. So if you have more than one if, you guys can put, so as soon as Python gonna come here in else, then the Python is going to terminate this control flow or conditional statements here. So you guys going to see that because we put a 90, the number is more than 10, is 90 is more than 10, and then the second one is going to come here. Python is going to say the second one, evaluate this Boolean expression here, which is 20, and 20 is the whatever number, because this 90 is more than 20, that's fine. That's true, and it's more than 40, and then you guys are going to see the more than 40. So even if you have, say, another if num is greater than, say, 100, you guys can print that the number is more than 100. Okay, so the number is more than 100. Okay, so how about if you put a number which is not more than, say, it's going to be the range of 40 and it's going to be 100, then you guys are going to see whichever is going to be the true, then the Python is going to run that one. Say if you're going to put this one, say now we're going to put a, say, 50, or you guys can put a 60, and then you guys are going to see that the first one is true, this guy is true, the first one, then the 21 is true, then the 31 is true, but the 101 is not true because the 101 is not showing. So you guys seen here now that 60 is more than 10, more than 20, more than 40, but it's less than 100. So you guys don't see the 100. So that's how the nested if works inside the Python. And from time to time, when you guys do your programming, you guys are gonna have the same problem. Then if you guys know how to deal with nested if inside the program, especially if you guys doing your gaming, because you have a lot of characters, and whatever your characters, if your characters done this, if your character done this, you gotta do this score. If your character move going to left, you gotta do this. If your character going to straight, you gotta do this. And if your character goes to this side, you gotta do this. So then nested if gonna be your friend, your best friends. So that's how you guys gonna do that. The first one, if you look in here, there is no indentation here. The second one, there is a 4, then the if sitting underneath, then the statements here, then another if is going to be sitting under the statements there, and then another if is going to sit here. So if you guys want to put else for this guy here, you guys needs to put else, say like that, where this else is here, and then when you go, that's the whole idea. The number is less than 100. That's how you guys gonna do. So if you, whenever you guys want to put else here, so that's how you guys gonna do. And do look at here, when I'm gonna run my program, then you're looking here, I'm not getting any error. So if I put say 50 for example again, and you guys gonna see this one, the number is not more than, the number is more than 10, the number is more than 20, the number is more than 40, and the number is less than 100. So now my this guy came in. So if you look in here, because the Python is going to see the first one is true, the second one is true, the third one is true, the fourth one is not true, but the else is true. So the else ones kicks in. Now you've seen here that if you guys do your indentation correctly, this if else is sitting under the if, and we put the first condition is more than 100, and then quickly we put else, and then this one's going to be less than 100. And if you look in here, the last guy here, then the Python evaluate that one's true, that one's true, that one's true, but this one's not true because it's not more than 100. And then because we put an else, then the Python come in, jump quickly, then the Python is going to say, okay, this one is not true, so we're going to go for alternate. The alternate one is else, and the else one, the number is less than 100. So Python sees that the number 50 is less than 100, so Python printed this one here. And you look in here, I have put a 1, 2, 3, 4 ifs. It's going to be like a ladder, and say this one's like a nest, and then nested for if control flow. So the nested if the first one, then the second one, that's the third one, this is going to be this if within that if, and in this if within this if. So all of them is going to be within each other, and one of them's got a else, and the first one's had a else, and this one's got the last one's had a else as well. So that's how the nested ifs statement works inside the Python. That's how you guys got to do. And if you do it correctly, you guys gonna good to go, and you guys gonna enjoy programming with Python. All right guys, that's it for this video. If you have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.